All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about something that's at the absolute core of great strategy. How do you take all those different business analyses you're doing and actually turn them into a single, powerful plan of action?
So let me ask you this. You've done the work, right? You've got your SWOT analysis sitting here, your pestle analysis over there. Maybe you even ran a Porter's 5 forces model. You are swimming in data. But when you look at it all together, does it feel less like a clear picture and more like a jumble of puzzle pieces that don't quite fit? If that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. It's a massive challenge, but it's one we're going to tackle right now. So here's our game plan. We'll start with the problem itself. Then we'll define this key idea of strategic synthesis. From there, we'll get into the how-to, connecting the dots. Then we'll talk about turning those connections into a real strategy. And finally, we'll look at why this whole process gives you such an incredible competitive advantage. Okay, first stop, let's really get to grips with the core problem. And that is the challenge of siloed insights. You know, it's like you have all the best ingredients in your kitchen, but you don't have the master recipe to actually bring them together into an amazing meal. This slide, this really says it all, doesn't it? Having a mountain of information doesn't automatically give you clarity. In fact, a lot of the time, it just leads to what we call analysis paralysis, that feeling of being so swamped with data you can't actually make a decision. So our goal here is to move from just having data to having a clear, confident direction.
So, how do we build that bridge from all that data to a clear direction? Well, the answer isn't another fancy tool. It's a process. Let's talk about what strategic synthesis is and why it's the master key that unlocks all of your other hard work. And here it is, strategic synthesis. Think of it like this. It's the process of deliberately weaving together all the different threads from your analyses, your SWOT, your pestle, you name it, and forming one single strong rope. This is how we stop looking at isolated observations and start building a solid, evidence-based plan that can guide your whole organization. Now for the really practical part. How do we actually do this? Well, the great news is you probably have all the pieces you need already. We're going to use those powerful frameworks that you're likely already familiar with. Think about it. Each one of these tools gives you a vital but incomplete piece of the puzzle. Your SWOT analysis gives you a snapshot of your internal world, your strengths, your weaknesses. Pestle scans the big external environment. Each one is a different lens. Synthesis is the art of layering these views on top of each other to finally see the whole picture.
And it really just boils down to 3 simple steps. First, you gather. Get all your key findings in one place. Second, you identify. You start looking for the patterns, the themes, even the contradictions that pop up across the different models. And finally, you integrate. You weave it all together into one single story about where you are and where you need to go.
Spotting those patterns is awesome, but it's really only half the job. The next and most critical step is turning those patterns into actual, concrete strategic moves. This is where insight becomes a real pathway forward. Okay, check this out because this example makes the whole concept crystal clear. Let's say your SWOT analysis points out a weakness. Your IT infrastructure is outdated. Okay, not great. Separately, your pestle analysis flags a huge external trend. AI is advancing like crazy. Interesting. Now, either of these insights on its own is just a piece of information, but when you synthesize them, boom, you uncover a massive strategic risk. You're in serious danger of being left in the dust by competitors who are using that new AI tech. See? It's not just a weakness anymore, it's an urgent existential threat. And that quote just nails it. This is why we do it. We're not just connecting dots for the sake of it. The whole point is to move past random bits of data and lonely observations to build clear, decisive strategies that you can bet on because they're backed by evidence from every angle. So let's talk about the big payoff. Why go through all this trouble? Well, because a synthesized strategy gives you more than just a clear plan. It unlocks some of the most powerful competitive advantages your business can possibly have. First up, you become way more adaptable. When you have that full 360-degree view of your world, you can spot market shifts or new technologies coming from a mile away. And that means you can pivot and react effectively instead of getting blindsided by something you just didn't see coming. Second, it seriously sharpens your competitive edge. When you can see the whole chessboard, not just the one piece in front of you, you're in a much better position to find those unique opportunities that everyone else is missing. You can spot hidden threats before they become big problems, and that lets you carve out and defend your winning spot in the market. And third, and this might be the most important one, it creates incredible alignment. A synthesized strategy becomes the North Star for your entire company.
Suddenly, marketing, sales, product, operations, everyone is pulling in the same direction. The mixed signals and conflicting priorities start to disappear. And when you look at it visually like this, it just makes sense. The process of synthesis directly builds these three pillars for a strong, resilient organization. You're not just tweaking one thing, you are fundamentally strengthening how your entire business adapts, competes, and works together.
So if you only take one single thing away from our time together today, let it be this. Synthesis is the magic that turns scattered bits of information into focused, strategic intelligence. It's the difference between knowing a lot of things and knowing exactly what to do. And that leaves us with one final thought for you to take with you. Go back and think about the analyses you've already done. What is the one connection, that one link between a weakness you know you have and a trend that's happening out there that you might be missing right now? Because the answer to that question, well, that could be your next great strategy.